let's dive right in and let's start talking recruiting. A new commit since we spoke last week, and nice little run last week with a couple new names to add to the mix for this class of 2022. And Grayson, Richard Reese, the latest addition. We had him on Sikkim 365 radio last week to talk about his commitment the day after. And he is the newest commit for Baylor football. So Richard Reese, the latest, and what can you tell us about him?
Yeah, so Richard, of course, got the offer and then committed 2 days after. He's out of Belleville High School. He's a guy who kind of just popped on the radar really quickly and then, of course, made his decision really quickly. So Houston Baptist, Texas State were his only other two offers. About 5'10", 175 pounds, so not the biggest running back, but definitely one who, when you watch his film, runs extremely hard and is able to get downhill extremely quickly, which is something the Baylor staff has really, really been looking for out of the running back position. I know you and I have talked about this before, and I feel like everyone kept asking me, why is Baylor taking a running back, or not believing that Baylor is going to take a running back in this class. And, you know, for the longest time, just for whatever reason, Baylor felt like they needed to take one. And I think a big part of that is seeing what they had on campus and saying, you know what, I think we need to upgrade. I think we can add more depth there and add more talent at the running back position. We know Jeff Grimes is a guy who wants to run the football. Saw Tyler Algier have a monster year for BYU a year ago, but I think if you look at Baylor's roster, it's probably going to be more of a committee than it was at BYU last season. So anyways, I think that's the direction that it's going. So Richard kind of fits that mold. Back-to-back 4A offensive MVP for his district. This is just a crazy stat, but 454 carries for 3,869 yards and 49 touchdowns over the last 2 seasons on the ground. So extremely productive. Like I said, I think when you watch his film, the thing that sticks out is how quickly he gets downhill. I know some people compared him to Steve Slayton, a guy who played at West Virginia. They also wear the same number, which I think also makes that comparison a little more fun. But yeah, I think this is a nice pickup for this class. I think he fits exactly what they want, and highly productive, which you love to see out of the high school prospects. And also, I think if you look at the film, you can see the speed and athleticism is there, even though he does not have, official testing times right now. I do believe when he goes to camps this summer, we'll see how many he ends up going to. I think he's going to be one who draws a lot of attention because, I mean, the simple fact is, if you turn on his film and then you tell me he runs a, hand-timed 4.4s, I mean, he's going to get a ton of offers, and he's going to be a guy who I think will quickly ascend in the 2022 class.
So nearly 4,000 yards over the last 2 seasons, well over 4,000 yards in the last 3 seasons since, jumping out onto the scene as a freshman. So now preparing for his senior year. Sounds like anything less than like a couple thousand yards will be a disappointment for Richard Reese, but bell cow out of Belleville is what he is. And not like a bell cow in terms of big physical, Craig Ironhead Hayward, just lots of carries, lots and lots of carries and lots of yards for Richard Reese. So he is commit number 11 for the class of 2022. And the only running back commit, and probably will be the only running back commit in this entire class. So that tells you what you need to know about Richard Reese and how they view him, is that they're not really, from what we can gather, looking to add too much more to the backfield. So, only one guy, you must like that guy a whole heck of a lot to make him the guy. So, Richard Reese.
And you have Jordan Jenkins coming in, too.
Right.
So, I mean, they are building depth there, but you're exactly right. I mean, you're only taking one, so you got to like the guy that you're bringing in. And I know that was a big thing. They were looking for their guy. This staff was looking for their guy at running back. I know there were a few guys that they had offered who they liked, but there were 2 ways it was swinging. The top guys, just they didn't feel like they had a shot with, and then the guys who they were kind of on the fringe, like, do we really want to take this guy, if you know what I mean? So Richard kind of finally fell in that category. They found the guy they wanted, and I think they're done at the running back position. I mentioned to you on Friday, I do believe that Obviously, if there is a running back who they think could play linebacker, could play another position, I do think they could still take one if it goes that way. But I don't think they're going to take another true running back.
So if there's another Abram Smith out there, then maybe they're interested in you. If not, then Richard Reese is the lone running back for this Baylor class. So